Okay. Well, I feel like an unintended recurring motif in this campaign has been dads.
Okay.
I feel like fathers have played a very important role in a lot of the player characters' backstories and have influenced the campaign in a lot of ways. So here's today's quiz question. Each of you only gets one answer, and
Shit.
and no repeats. Name one
Oh god.
dad directly related to a player character.
The winged one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was
That's
a
one.
good jump because it's not that's not Roksana's dad. It's not Derek's dad. All right, Chris, you get an inspiration.
Let's go. I win.
Cutthroat.
was
That's solid. That's solid.
Cutthroat and jumping to it. I love
Fuck.
it. Ooh.
Get fucking good.
Does anybody want to
I'll
give me
I'll give
another dad?
I'll give Tyler his opportunity to answer for him.
Yeah, I'll go Vanali Demir.
Vinali Demir.
Yeah,
I would
my
have it no
go-to.
other way coming from Tyler.
Yep.
Yeah, you get your inspiration.
What's going
Dope.
So the question today, Caleb, to get your inspiration is, so no repeats, so far the winged one and Vinali Demir have been said. Name one dad directly related to a player character.
One dad directly related to
One dad. So either the player character's dad or, I don't know, their grandfather or something if somebody has had a grandfather pop up, or
I already said.
I'm not gonna quite say it, but there's a...
I mean, I know, like, Ryan's grandfather. Eric the cleric's grandfather, right?
Well, he has a dad, but I don't know if Ryan's gonna say Derek's dad.
You can say Derek's dad, but you need to get his name right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, is Ryan holding on to a cool dad?
Is his name Eric the cleric?
That'd be
Sure
really
isn't.
fucking that'd be really fucking funny.
Well, let's see. Can I know my own character's dad? I mean, he hasn't been in the campaign, but, like, he shunned Thomas out of his house.
Did you have a name for him?
His name was also Thomas. He was the second.
Is Thomas a junior?
Yeah, but he doesn't like to talk about it because it makes him really sad because his dad disowned him.
Also, it's kind of weird thinking that Thomas is like 40 years old.
Yeah, he doesn't even know if his dad's alive.
Yeah, that's alright. Sure, Thomas has Thomas. So, you can get your inspiration. Ryan, were you gonna say anyone in particular? Or I guess Jimmy, because Jimmy hasn't been here for a lot of the campaign, so he's at a disadvantage for a lot of these questions I ask. But I will tell you this, Jimmy. One of the player characters is a dad.
That's
One
true.
of the player characters
That's true. I didn't think of that.
has a child. And I did say is a dad, so we can go by process of elimination. I don't think Jan is a dad. First of all, right?
Right?
Thomas is like a preteen teen, so we're not gonna talk about that. He's not a dad.
I'm not sure.
Roxana's a woman, so not a dad.
She
Debatable.
identifies
I'm the
as
party
male.
dad.
He's a zaddy.
Okay.
He's the party dad.
Fogel.
Fogel is a dad. Yes, you get your inspiration. Good job.
Wait, who is the son? What?
He
Fogel.
abandoned him.
Another junior. It was mentioned in like the sewers of Glaston when you met Artyom, the current boyfriend of Fogel's ex-wife.
He's the dad who stepped up.
Yeah, he's the dad who stepped up. He's not the father, but he is the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fogel does have a child, but he's a deadbeat dad. So yeah, you get your inspiration, Jimmy. And Ryan, finally handing it over to you.
Well, I was gonna say I could say Duke Wolford, my dad, but can we say mom's work too, specifically Ogvile and Glub?
I do like that, but I did
Nice.
say specifically
Fine.
related to.
Fine, Duke Wolford.
I did say
fine.
specifically related to a player character. However,
I miss Big Glub.
there is a character who is a mom.
Yeah, Ogvile Demir, the Big Glub.
Oh yeah, isn't it like
Anybody-
fucking Glide or something?
Yeah, Glide
yeah,
is.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that.
Glide is a mom. Caleb didn't know that Glide was a mom, but it was revealed in a little memory vision thing, and she died during childbirth. Died. So yeah, that was kind of sad. Okay, everyone gets your inspiration, and I guess let's get off of these mellow lo-fi tunes and resume where we left off last time, which was in the middle of a battle
Yeah, I'm down.
against a bunch of projected mages in this
down.
astromantic
Oh,
society.
it's almost-
shit!
Yeah, it's
Archive.
TPK. TPK is down.
Let me pull this back up. Yep, the combat's still working. I believe it was just the projected mages' turns, and so far, right now we have 3 player characters who are down. So, Derek's down, the party healer. Roksana, sorry Tyler, you weren't here last time, but Roksana just went down as well.
Yeah.
And Asura, and Jose's not here again, so you can let him die if you want. I'm sure he'd like to return to the campaign with Asura dead. Okay, yeah, I think it was it was overwhelming revelation and ability of this projected diviner caused a lot of people to straight up just take. Oh, and Baxter's down, destroyed. I'll decide when Vinny comes back. I might have Baxter get destroyed. But yeah, you had just taken 52 psychic damage. All of you who had failed this save, which is quite a lot. But luckily, that's the end of the enemy's turn, which gives you guys a lot of time to pick people back up. And we have Fogel up right now. I think I'll have Fogel be of help here.
Wasn't he having Baxter deliver health potions?
Baxter is currently at 0 hit points, so yeah. Baxter also failed his save against that. But Fogel has something really pretty here, which is Mass Healing Word, and he has 1 more 3rd level spell slot. I'm gonna use it. I feel like Vinny probably would have used it here. Up to 6 creatures, so I guess he'll. You know what? I'll have him pick up Baxter as well. So Derek, Roksana, Asura, Baxter, and who else is looking particularly bad? Fogel himself and Thomas, I guess. You're all going to heal.
Oh shit.
No, it's actually more than that. It's 14 points of healing. Because he has the Alchemist feature that essentially lets him add his intelligence modifier twice to any heals that he does, or specifically to healing word and cure wounds and stuff and such.
Is that to
So, yeah.
everybody?
To you, Roksana, to Derek, to Asura, to Fogel himself, to Baxter, and to
A
Thomas.
lot of healing.
Cool. Yeah, that is a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot of healing. Yeah, so that was just his bonus action as well. I guess as a cantrip, he's gonna cast Toll the Dead on, I guess, the
Toll of the
projection
Dead.
that's near him. Hopefully these guys aren't or they don't. Hopefully they're
Roger.
not immune to necrotic damage. No, they are not. So I think he just needs to make a wisdom save. Unfortunately, that is a success, so he doesn't take any damage from Toll the Dead. That's, I think Fogel's also going to reposition himself a little bit. And that'll be the end of his turn. Of course, it's Asura now. Dude, I'm going to take 3 turns right here, because it's Asura, and then it's Artiber. Asura is going to get up, using half of his movement. He's going to spread out a bit, so 5, 10...
I like Artiber's
probably stand
token.
over.
He's looking fly.
Yeah, so the Diviner's the one who just took you down. Yeah, he does look he's dressed to impress. He's just gonna send some Eldritch Blasts in the way of the enemy that's in front of Roksana and Derek. So 24 does hit for 7 damage, and the second one is a 30 to hit for 6 damage, so 13 points of damage to this guy. Alright, that, I believe Asura doesn't have any more uses of his healing light. No, he doesn't. So that's going to bring us to Artiber. And Artiber is out of his healing tonic. He's gonna, I guess he'll use his hazardous compound ability. He's gonna probably, yeah, I guess he'll huck it right in front of him. And I think that just means that if the enemy, is it ends his turn or starts his turn? First time on its turn or starts his turn there. Okay. I'll just have him make his dex save now. And he'll take damage if he fails when it's his turn. He does succeed, so he's not going to take any damage. But the cloud created by Artiver's alchemical hazardous compound remains, just kind of floating about the space. Artiver's also going to move around a little bit. I don't remember what this cube is for. It might have been for fairy fire, but I'll just get rid of that for now. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of a lot of these crazy.
I think the green one right there is my blade of
Yeah,
Spectre.
that's your
My blade.
yeah. All right, that brings us to Thomas. Caleb, what's Thomas up to right now?
Yeah, so I remember I got confused about this last time. Which ones are our enemies?
They are the mage-looking guys. Yeah, I know, because the assassin who's your ally is currently also sharing the same token.
Yeah, okay,
border
so
as
it's the
them.
2 projected guys.
Yeah, the guys with the glowing blue hands sticking out.
I'm gonna help Jan von Jaeger out with the projected transmuter. Let me hit him with. Oh, actually, are people super down right now?
Yes.
Yeah, people are pretty low.
Well, people
Yes.
got just got rezzed pretty much for 14 health by.
Because I have 7 potions of superior heal.
Oh.
What the dick?
I
yo,
could-
what
You're not
fuck?
artificer here. How did you get those?
Hello?
Just there.
Christmas coming early this year.
Can we buy them a few sessions prior to this?
I don't know. That sounds expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds completely unrealistic. It's just sitting there.
I mean,
I mean, either way, I can only administer 2 anyways per turn.
I thought it was 1.
It's an action, so 1.
Oh, okay.
Just toss
Yeah.
the whole box.
I mean,
sure
if you,
gave you
I
those
would say,
7 superior healing potions at one point in time.
I would
Yeah,
say,
I don't know
it's
why I would
sometimes
roll
just like-
7.
Oh, you know what it might have been? It might have been when you looted Saris's camp.
That's what it is. I
'Cause
remember
there
it
was
was
a lot of
just
supplies got
yeah.
from there.
That sounds familiar. Okay, so who just got up from that? I guess because I could also just drop them off, right? Like,
Yeah, you could just I guess just
I would say,
Bye.
I would say if you need healing, top off because we have a cleric up now.
I mean, I'm only 8 points off of max, so using a potion like that for that is that.
Yeah, I mean,
we're doing because they're like
use it to attack because I can heal. I
8d4.
can, yeah, I can heal. So
all right.
we gotta smack these bitches to get the key.
Well, I guess what's Fogel at, Seth? I'll hand one over to Fogel to take if he's not doing too well.
Fogel's pretty good actually. It's really just Derek, Roksana, and Osira who are very low. And I guess our NPC friend Artiber off in the distance, but
Derek. Oh, there's Oscar. All right. How far away? Nope, that's not one. Can you make that go? How far away is Oscar from me?
you're currently on the shape controls. You want to go to the token control section. That's where the ruler is. So he's
45?
45 feet.
Damn it, my movement is only 40. Alright, fuck it. Never mind. I'm just gonna attack this guy with Yawn and
Yeah, and just as a reminder for the state of this combat, there has been a pattern to the way that these projections have been spawning. So it kind of coincides with the symbols you saw on the first floor with the 8 schools of magic. And it seemed like it spawned 2 mages from different schools of magic each round. And these were the 4th ones spawned. So it could very well be that these are the last 2 mages to be spawned. And also there's this there's another part of the mechanism beginning to summon something in the center of the room.
okay. Is Baxter in trouble then?
No, it doesn't seem like Baxter's in trouble. It's more akin to, I think I described it last session as similar to when that key manifested for Osira when you guys solved the puzzle. So it looks like it's essentially teleporting or spawning something in.
Alright, I'm just gonna mind thrust him.
Uh, 22 definitely hits. Yeah.
Nice.
I was seeing if he had a reaction, but he does not have a reaction. 12 damage. Almost just wisps of magic remain. Like this projection is barely held together at this point.
Good.
Anything with your movement, repositioning?
Yeah, I'm gonna start making my way over to. Oh, I mean, we're corner to corner there, right?
Yeah.
If I'm
You
here.
guys are pretty spread out at this point, which,
Because my
as
movement's
you've learned, is
40, so I could get to him. Can I just hand him a potion? Not give it, not.
yeah. I'll say
insert it in
if
his
you
mouth.
you use your
Hold it out.
free object interaction to pull out a potion, and then free action just drop it at his feet. But
That's
yeah,
all.
you can leave it on the ground, and then he'll probably drink it on his next turn, or
Gosh, I'd
to
hope so.
top off after combat. Okay, that brings us to Roksana.
Alrighty. So Roxana, I guess I have a few questions. Do these guys seem mostly corporeal?
It's kind of like a weird thing where they're obviously made of magic, but the magic is like it's so advanced to a degree that they pretty much behave more or less like a normal biological being would. You gathered that like the intent of this is it's more meant as like a challenge to a potential like graduating mage, and it's meant to emulate a real combat against many different and disparate schools of magic. So you could are you just asking in terms of like can you use your normal attacks against it, or
No, I was trying to figure out whether I was going to use some spirit dice on this, but I don't think in this situation I will. I think instead I'm just going to attempt to attack him with Centipede's leg. We'll see if it goes through. Does it seem like physical attacks have worked so far?
yeah,
Okay.
you've been attacking with Centipede's leg so far in combat, which is a magical weapon, but it seems to have been working, and you would have advantage on this attack because you have your pack tactics thing.
Oh yeah, because Derek's right there. Cool. All right, I will make an attack at advantage. 28 to hit.
Yeah, 28 hits for sure.
Let's go.
Go ahead, roll damage, roll sneak attack.
Yep. Let's see. All right, so 26
Oh,
total.
yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Doing anything else? You got your bonus action. There's plenty you can do with that.
Yeah, I think I'll that's all I'll do this round. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use my vampiric bite. I have a feeling that
Yeah.
they're not fully there.
Okay. So I suppose that will go over to Elijah now.
Interesting. It looks like that's handled. I'll move up here, and I'll take a I'll take a swipe. Ooh, I'm gonna do the wombo combo.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So first, just make your Drexulaith attack.
Do I have advantage?
Yes. Actually, you're surrounding right now. There's
Let's
three of you next to him, so
go.
you have advantage.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright, go ahead and roll damage for the first attack.
Nice.
You don't even need to roll the green flame blade damage.
I
This
don't
guy,
care. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one.
Yeah, he dissipates. Scattered to the wind. His magical particulates are no more, and it seems like you're just faced with one remaining projection.
I'm gonna move my blade of strife next to the other one,
Okay.
and then can I attack with a bonus action? I believe that's how it works.
You have extra attack with your subclass.
Yeah, but I also.
Oh yeah, you can
can't make
move it and yeah, you can move it and
Yes,
attack.
yeah,
with your
but I
bonus
can't
action,
make it to
sorry.
the other. Yes, I cannot make it to the other one. Let me go to my character sheet. Oop, that's not it.
You
Character
can make it to
sheet.
the other guy.
Can I?
Yeah.
I
I'm
moved from I moved from 2 squares down.
Oh, you moved 2 squares.
Yeah.
He's just out of range. Unless you would rather go to the place that you're. I guess you can both. Your spiritual weapon or whatever, blade of strife, and
Okay,
you, I think,
yeah.
can both occupy that space. Like it's not a creature or anything.
Okay. Cool. All right. Then I'll take my second swipe with advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this guy's surrounded as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 12 points, and you used your bonus action to move your Blade of Strife, so I'm assuming you also want to make an attack with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead
Consume
and do
resource.
that. It doesn't count as a creature for surrounding, but the enemy is surrounded, so you would get advantage on this
Oh,
attack.
sick.
All right, go ahead, roll damage. Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
5 points of damage.
Slash.
Okay. Now, even though these appear to be like very, in terms of PCs, like very high level, like they have high level spell slots and all of that jazz, they are still mages, so up against a seasoned party of adventurers, it seems to be going down pretty fast, and just your guys' combined flurry of attacks is seeming to just dissipate the magic that it's constructed of. But it is still up for the time being, which will bring us to Derek.
Okay. Looking at the key that's manifesting in the center of the room, does Derek have a sense if there's going to be another round left?
I will let you make a maybe an insight check, just kind of an understanding and getting an evaluation of the situation.
18.
An 18. You are kind of gathering from everything that's going on, just putting everything together, understanding the situation. This appears to be some sort of rite, some sort of ceremony. Even the inscription that you found in that original room is to I can't even remember what it was. It was something about mastering all schools of magic and becoming the master. So it appears as though the facing a mage from each of the 8 schools is probably what's required to pass the test.
Okay, sounds good. How many have we gone through? Does the party remember at all? Is this the second wave, or is this the third wave?
You guys have defeated 7 of 8.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, you guys, they did do a number on you last time, but you also did a number on them. You've carved through 7 of the 8 mages at this point.
Okay, Derek will just use his mace and try to smack the boy.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack with advantage.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
And again, they are meant to emulate actual beings, so perhaps it's on purpose that when they constructed the spells and the formulae to create these things, that they actually created this weakness of physical damage that like a pure magical thing wouldn't normally have. So yeah, it treats it normally. It takes the full 7 points of damage.
Nice.
Doing anything with your bonus action?
I'll be real quick.
We'll see how this shakes out after this round. So no.
Okay, I believe we have a couple more people going before it's turn again. Jan, you are up. So Jimmy, what's Jan doing?
So, yeah, forgive me because I don't have my character sheet. I'm just driving back from the airport.
Yeah.
But, so I think if I remember correctly, I was in my beast form with the bite.
Okay.
And how close am I to the?
Yeah, you're only 25 feet away from the last enemy, so you could reach him on this turn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll kind of sprint, lunge in that direction, and just try to land a bite.
I kind of like the idea of just seeing everybody kind of surrounding this one enemy, almost like plays in football. Right now, Jan's uh, kind of being obscured by his party members, and he comes rounding the corner and just jumping at this thing with his teeth bared, going to bite a projection at that. So yeah, I'll have you make an attack with Beast Mark's bite with advantage. I mean, your teammates can tell you what you rolled there.
What I get?
A crit,
Yeah, you got a
a
critical hit.
natural 31.
Yo.
That's
A
wild.
natural
Whoa!
31, a natural 20 on this.
He's like, whoa! His hands come off the wheel and crash.
You also do heal up to full HP because of the bite.
Damn.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so let's see. 22 points of damage on that attack. And the amount of HP that this guy has currently is 17. So with that nat 20, you actually do it.
Woo!
I don't even know if it is the bite itself or just your sheer force charging into this projection, this illusion, whatever you might, whatever it is. But it completely just becomes wisps of magic that get reabsorbed into the ceiling of this place. And yeah, you guys have completed this challenge. Let me change the mood a little bit.
I'm sad Jose wasn't here to see the end of this. He loved this challenge.
Okay. Oh, that sounds even scarier. I mean, we're in Thalas Ashana, not the nicest place.
It's the second phase.
Jose wasn't even here for the first one either. He also
Really?
missed last session. Yeah, so he missed the entire battle.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
Dang.
That's too bad.
The apparatus in the ceiling, which is this clockwork thing with various runes and various foci of just like crystals to focus energy and magic. Everything goes into place and begins to, like, lights being refracted back and forth and coalesces in the center of the room and beginning to take physical form. And not unlike the key that seemed to be just transported back at the beginning of this place where you were able to solve the puzzle and summon the key, it appears as if this object is being created by the focused light itself, and it just coalesces into this one brightly glowing, it appears to be like a small gem. And it kind of floats in place for a second, and once the apparatus concludes, if after it finishes gathering and focusing all this energy, this crystal, this bead, this diamond-looking thing, just falls to the ground as a physical object and just lightly clicks and clangs on the floor.
I'll go up and investigate. See what it is.
Yeah. You pick it up in your hand and trying to investigate and peer into it. It actually begins to grow or glow brighter and almost blindingly so. I guess you can make a I'll say that either an Arcana check or a nature check would be appropriate here.
They're both the same for me, so I'll go Arcana. Oh, not good.
Okay. Well, if somebody else wants to do a nature check,
Derek can do a nature check.
you want to do a nature check?
14.
This appears, and you're kind of also gathering things from this, just your experiences in this place in general. Astromantic. It's like sky magic, essentially, right? It's space magic. They study the stars, they study celestial bodies. There's the whole orrery where it was showing like the placements of the various planets and stars and whatnot. There's like a telescope. This thing, and just watching this event of it being created in front of you, this is probably, in a weird way, like you're not from, well, you're from the Cerulean Garden. I guess you're young enough that the Great Steeping happened before you were born, so I guess you've understood like magic, and it's never been like new to you. But I guess it wouldn't have been taught to you really by your family that much. Derek has come into his cleric powers on his own. But things are strange, and you're beginning to become more acquainted with the strange. It appears that this is starlight itself.
Oh.
Made physical.
Oh. You have a star?
No, it's even weirder. It's starlight. It's not even a star.
It's not even a full star. It seems to be trapped, collected, gathered starlight. Condensed into a physical object.
Hold on, let me move back to my lore notes. I feel like there's something about.
I'm gonna put an item in your inventory.
Okay.
And you can read it out loud if you'd like to. Maybe see who might want this. It is a magic item.
Oh wait, I'm the magic item whore. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, maybe it was a bad idea to.
Let's see. A wondrous item.
Go on.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna read it, and then I'll if I don't tell you, I will plan to use it in a very interesting way.
Stop it.
This is probably something you don't want to pocket because it's pretty powerful, and there is at least one use of it that can be used over and over again.
Derek eats it. No,
It'll never see the light of day again. It's gone.
Starlight of day.
The starlight of day.
Oh, here, let me just copy and paste the text in the chat. Oh my god. Control copy. Control paste. Okay. Never mind. The Starlight has 10 charges and can't regain any of its charges. By expanding charges, you can cast the following spells without material components. Spell save DCs are 17. Its spell attack bonus are +9. Magnify gravity, 3rd level, 0 charges consumed per use. Gravity sinkhole, 1 charge per use. Gravity fissure, 2 charges per use. Reverse gravity, 3 charges. Crown of stars, don't know what that means, 3 charges. Dark star, don't know what that means, 4 charges.
Oh, nice. Those are the Matt Mercer spells, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are like his Exandria spells, because there's a lot of like Gravaturgy themed stuff.
I was gonna say, this sounds like a freaking, what's his face?
Caleb
Ashen?
Widowgast.
Oh no, I thought it was more like a. Oh wait, maybe that one.
When you expend the Starlight's last charge, it snuffs out a rift in the fabric of reality. It begins to form in the space. A rift in the fabric of reality begins to form in the space you occupy. At the end of your next turn, after expending the last charge, all creatures within 20 feet of the rift must make a DC 17 con save. taking 111 force damage or 55 force damage on a failed save, or on a successful save. Any object caught in the rift, as well as any creature reduced to 0 hit points by this rift, is pulled through space and time and disappears permanently. Mr. President, get down! Okay. So we got a fucking grenade. We got a implosion grenade. If we use the 10 charges, that's good to know.
We got to save that for one of the bosses. If it's
It also
yeah.
has a lot of powerful spells that you can use in there. So
Yeah.
whoever takes this, I'll also drag the spells into your inventory as well. I also have those at the ready.
Did it say like it gives you a spell DC and like a plus to hit automatically?
Yep. Although,
That's
like,
wild.
I don't think any of these spells. Oh wait, never mind. Crown of Stars uses a spell attack bonus.
That's pretty
It has
sick, so
spell
any
d-
of us could
spell
use
save,
it.
Yeah, spell save.
Yeah, anyone
DC
could use it.
17,
Yeah.
spell attack bonus +9. The DC and the spell attacks are all tied to the item, not the spellcaster.
That's pretty sick. Oh man.
Derek has it like looking at it through like the starlight or the moonlight, and is it like how big is it?
It's pretty tiny, I'd say.
Oh, cool.
Probably maybe like a little bigger than a diamond you'd see on like an engagement ring. So really small actually, unless you're super uber rich, I guess, and have like one of those giant rocks on your engagement ring.
I think you see Derek say, as the predominant arcanist in the party, and he starts fiddling with his cloak, and he like somehow snaps it into place in the middle of his Wolford clasp. I'll hold on to this, and he just has like condensed starlight shining in the middle of his Wolford clasp now.
What are its powers, Derek? What does it do?
You see like it flicker a little bit. And Derek just smirks a little bit, and says, it seems to manipulate gravity in a way that I haven't seen before. Could be helpful. Would you like me to try? And I just like sort of tap the thing.
Roksana flies back against the wall.
I mean, he could do magnified gravity right now. Take zero charges.
You could do that.
She goes straight to the floor.
All right, so
Yeah.
Derek's holding on to it. Make sure to attune to that. You just right-click it in your inventory.
Let me see
That
if I
will
need to.
take up your third and
Okay, I
final
was about to say-
attunement slot, I believe.
Nice. Very nice.
And then I'm gonna drag these into your spell book.
Add to favorite, attuned item. I need to
Crown
do
of
that before. I'm
Stars.
glad Vinny wasn't here because he'd
Dark
fight me on
Star.
this probably.
What have I?
Well,
dragged?
even Roksana was thinking about it for sure. Like, the fact that anyone can use it is extremely tempting. But honestly, I think that power is probably best in Derek's hands out of anybody.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that he purposefully like clasps it into his buckle of his cloak, just so you know so everyone knows where if it's that it's there. So like if anyone needs it and I'm like down, like you literally rip the cloak off me and you can use it.
But you have to attune to it. That's the thing.
Yeah, the
Oh, that's
attunement thing is the.
That's true. That's true.
But like over the course of a whatever short rest, or I don't even remember how long it takes to attune to things, like an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you guys can swap it out if it's not. I guess this would give Derek some offensive capabilities, which he tends to
Derek
not
is
really
not-
have that much.
Did you
Very
said you
true.
just get
He's just
recharged?
You can't regain the
it can't
charges.
be recharged.
Oh, that's wild.
But I can force people to their knees.
Nice.
I got fucking gravity shenanigans.
There we go.
Was
I
this?
will probably. There's some things that I'll need to do with these spells, as in tie them to the item so that they properly consume its charges. But I'll try to do that.
That's
at the
okay.
end. I need it. I would have done it beforehand, but you kind of need to do that
That's fine.
when somebody has it in their inventory, so it'll just take a little bit of time. But we'll work it out in the moment if you need to, if you want to use it at some point this session.
That sounds good.
We can do the good old-fashioned manual thing and not automated. Okay. So you've received the Forgotten Starlight, a legendary item, consumable maybe, kind of a consumable.
Yeah, all consuming
At
actually.
this point, there's a couple, at least 2 legendary items in the party, I think, right?
Does Derek have both of them? That'd be really funny.
No.
How dare you?
No, one's the
Elijah's
Philosopher's
wearing-
Stone, right? What about the Philosopher's Stone?
Oh, the
Philosopher's
rogue
we get
Stone
that
is
from
an
Archmage?
artifact.
Fogel has that,
Oh,
right?
okay.
I think the Grain of Black Sand is also an artifact.
What
No one
the
knows about
fuck?
that. Sure, no one knows about that one.
True. Is that
You fucking
the
exposed me, you bastard.
is that the time one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
God damn it.
Sounds like you do.
Ryan's the item whore.
Don't check
I
me.
mean, I guess it makes sense. He is the one with the highest strength in the party right now. It only makes
He's,
sense that he would carry everything around with him.
Don't touch me.
It's like a character version of a bag of holding. It just goes
I
into
am the bag of
space and then
holding.
it never returns.
Would you want to give your wand of magic missiles over to someone for the time being?
Do you have to attune to that or something?
There is a lot of switching the things that are in your hand, I guess, is the issue. If you don't want to give away your wand of magic missiles, that's fine.
Oh, I
You
guess I have
a lot
the.
of things.
No, I keep it tucked in my boot. That's my
Your boot.
my fucking prison pocket right there.
Derek,
Get out! I
Derek
fucking
is the
get out of
golf
jail free
bag,
card.
the golf bag wizard.
It's my quick draw.
Okay. Well, you guys have made it through the final room in this entire dungeon. It's not really a dungeon, it's an archive. It was an optional site. You have, just as a recap, you have got what you needed and perhaps even more here. You know how to, or you know what Odracthir's anchor is, which was what the original purpose of all of this was. His anchor is not his own wedding band, which is already destroyed, but Adraksa's wedding band. You came away with other knowledge on how to deal with, like, higher tiered vampires. I think Roksana found that information. So, if you can use a little bit of the context clues from what Odrakthir is, you can kind of figure out what his like vampire vice is, and use the specific counter to that against him. Hopefully you took notes on that. And you found out a lot of, or you made a lot of big revelations about the nature of Thalas Ashana itself and what's happening in Thalas Ashana and what's happening with the Moot, and some theories going on about what are the ultimate goals of Vanali Demir, the goals of the Winged One, and maybe even the goals of one Zalad, essentially the emperor of the Jalarn, the ruler, the leader. He's holds dominion over all of Thalas Ashana, and an enigmatic figure at that. One that Roksana has never even seen, and as far as she knows, maybe even no one has ever seen.
Besides his other ancient vampires.
Besides the other ancient vampires.
Besides his bros.
Besides his bros like
Besides
Odrakthir
his bros.
and Songbird.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing to note on the information that was gathered, a potential loophole or a potential out of the contract with Songbird, and perhaps a way to actually kill him while still being under contract even.
Yeah,
Maybe-
what was the bit about the contract again? Because I remember his weakness with like the leaden helmet and all that, but I
Yeah,
forget
so
what
yeah,
we
that
learned about the contract.
So with the contract, I think there were like a couple of things. There's a couple different ways that magical contracts can be nullified, or even just temporarily nullified. One of them is depending on like the level of the person who, or like the skill of the person who drafted the contract and like the quality of the materials used in the contract.
Oh wait, I
Just
have
a
notes.
sufficiently high level
Let's
to
go.
spell magic
Yeah.
could completely nullify a contract.
Oh,
But
wow.
you would need the contract itself to
Also, I have a note in here. Effects of a contract are suspended in an area of anti-magic. Suspended, not
Oh,
broken.
that might be easier to
Yeah.
achieve, actually.
Yeah.
Also, I would not say any of this out loud, especially around Thomas.
Fucking punch Thomas, knock him out.
yeah. So that one would
Snap
be
his
a
neck.
much more like easily if you guys could find a source of anti-magic, a much more like easily applicable one, because
Mhm.
say Roksana is in an area of anti-magic, she's immune to the effects of the contract, like they're
Oh,
nullified for her.
So does that mean that if either one of the parties in the contract is in an anti-magic area, the contract is void? Not both of them have to be there, right?
Yes, yeah, that
Okay.
was kind of the deduction and the research on that. So if you could get him so Songbird in an area of
Him.
anti-magic, then you could just beat on him,
Yeah.
essentially.
See, this is what I'm
Get
thinking,
off.
right? Yeah, exactly. We get him back to Adraksa. Maybe we get her to help us. Maybe we have her like help us find an anti-magic area. Have her join in on this fight against him.
I'm gonna say one thing though. Roksana may be the only person who is privy to this, or not Roksana. Who did the research on the contract?
I don't remember. I just took notes.
I
Was
want to
it-
say that might have
I'm-
been Asura.
Never mind, because Roksana, it might have been
Yeah.
Asura.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. Oh well.
Yeah, because Roksana did the
I think
research
he-
on the
Yeah.
on like
Yeah.
the folklore of the vampires.
But I
with,
feel
all
like-
the weaknesses.
Didn't.
Yeah, I did research about medicine. Vinny did got stuff about
Vogel
something-
found like the tablets, like the hieroglyphs type thing, showing like the story of the divine object, and like an exchange was made to like the vampires of Thalos Ashana, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it might have been Asura who.
But I
found
felt
yeah,
like
I have
I felt like me
mine,
and
I have
Asura had a
Vinny's.
conversation about it though at some point.
Who
Maybe
who
I'm
researched the
imagining that.
vampire vices?
That was
E.g.
Roksana.
That was Roxana. Okay.
Oh, so was it me then?
Because
I researched the vices.
Blood
Well, yeah, the
vices, thought
have
vices,
nothing
soul
to do with,
vices,
like, the
flesh
magical
vices.
contracts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
alright.
yeah. So it's
Alright.
it probably was Asura.
But yeah, I'm just gonna say, because if anything is within like earshot of Thomas, it's also within earshot of Songbird.
Yeah, I think let's start doing planning in character, because it makes it more interesting if we have to like shuttle Thomas away for a little bit, but then we have to work around trying to like not have Songbird be suspicious.
Yeah.
For the sake of, we'll say that Asura was the one who got the information, but for the sake of furthering the story, I feel like in the aftermath of this fight and everyone's like licking their wounds and everything, Asura might pull Roksana outside of this room. And outside of this room, this is the only room that's on this floor, so you're actually more inside like the ramparts of this building at this point. So you're like standing up on walls, overlooking this mountain oasis that you're in. And Asura would divulge this information to you.
All right. I have an idea then. I think I'm almost imagining this in like a cool like medieval type script, but I'm essentially going to write out my plan on like a piece of parchment paper with like a diagram of like anti-magic zone, leaden hat, like draw songbird and whatever with like a little description. And just to speed things up, start it with like, do not say the contents of this notebook aloud. Here are what we learned from the volumes of this library. Here's how we could potentially defeat Songbird and save ourselves a significant amount of time trying to kill these ancient vampires. And I'll slip it to different party members as we sort of, I assume we're going to leave this place, right? Or is there anything else we wanted here?
No, I think that's it.
I'll reiterate, you probably don't want to show that plan to Thomas.
Of course,
A big component of this is that you guys are going to need to set this up somehow without Thomas being in the know.
Yeah, I think I think that's fair. I think he should probably be in the dark. So I think it goes without saying I wouldn't show him the note. I wouldn't say anything around him. I would just show the note to the other party members. So
all the adult party members.
Yeah. You need to be this tall to read my notebook.
You need to. Please. Yeah.
It's like 41.
I'm excited to see how you might execute this plan, or what plan you even come up with.
Playing the long game.
All right. Would you guys like to take like a short rest here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is like a pretty safe place. You haven't really been bothered by anything or anyone. The only thing around here is just the archivist, who seems to be more of a neutral party, who's just more interested
The doggo.
I have 9 hit dice. Holy Jesus! Let's go. Fuck it! I need to roll all of these.
I know, same. I was so low. In the meantime, wait. Can you disperse the wealth with some of those potions? What the hell?
That might be good.
What the hell?
Yeah, I think Thomas was just. I think that must have been when you guys were looting Ceres's camp, because I was just like, oh, just you did the check, just hold on to these for now.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. So I had 7. Can drop that down to.
You have 7.
It drops the bag.
How many did you say there were? How many dice? Did you say it was 8d4?
Yeah, plus 8.
Plus 8.
It's a lot. I gave one to Asura already.
Cool. I would love to take 2. I feel like I'm always fighting whatever
4.
enemy we're facing head on.
Yeah, Derek's a cleric, so you can give those out to other people. I'm gonna roll my 9 dice. Hold on.
Chris, you want 1 or 2?
Let's see what happened, man.
Oh shit!
I guess.
I'm more or less up on the front lines, but like.
Go! That was big.
Somebody else.
Yo, Eric fucking rolling nuts on the
I'll
heels.
take 2. Why not? Why not?
All right, I'll hold on to 2. That feels fair.
Okay. How do I add this?
Remember that when you finish a long rest, you only
DM SRD
unrelated.
items.
If you guys spent hit dice, just a reminder that you only regain half of your maximum hit dice when you take a long rest.
It should automatically.
I think it does it automatically though.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say superior healing, Caleb?
Yeah. Yeah, it was superior. Also, can we talk about Derek rolling 3 10s in there?
Crazy.
I have 2.
Are we taking a long rest or a short rest?
Just a short rest.
Is it 1 to each of everyone here, Caleb? Is that what you were talking about?
No, I split them up
Someone take mine.
disparately.
Yeah, I think me and Elijah both get 2.
Yeah.
Is there any way to just like drag it in? Like, is it under the items tab or anything?
You might be able to actually access it. So, in like the top right, the second to last like tab is the compendium packs.
Oh, cool.
And the 5e SRD items, you should be able to find it in there. Potion.
Oh, dope.
Of superior healing.
I'm gonna add some cinnamon to my inventory.
Cinnamon man.
Cinnamon. Oh no, no, dude, that's too valuable.
It's under trade goods.
No, no, no.
So I think while we're resting around the campfire here,
You're
What-
gonna sing a
what's
campfire
next?
song?
Yes,
oh,
please.
what's next? What do we do next? Because I think I missed a session where you guys started like exploring after the Nothic. So I didn't know what you guys were like. I don't know what we were doing after getting into this room and like what was the point of this combat? Did we just wander in here or something?
Yeah, kind
Or
of.
was
Yeah.
oh okay.
Yeah,
we
we
were
were-
just
It was literally like in lore. It was an optional combat as well.
oh, okay. We were just
Like
exploring.
it wasn't just
okay.
like you walked into a room. These things were here. You guys challenged.
The text came on screen when we entered the room. Optional.
I see.
It was like, are you sure you want to do this? And we're like, fuck yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
like
this was
those
just,
bad
a bonus
dialogue
objective.
options.
At this point, you guys have gotten everything and more than you came here for. So unless you want to take one more trip to the archivist or something, and you have more magic
Dog.
items to exchange.
I have a new one.
We gotta keep that. We gotta keep that.
I'm fucking joking.
I'm
Give
good.
them the-
I think we got exactly what we came here for. Wasn't the whole purpose just to find out what happened to Adraksa's celestial radiance? Like gain information on it?
That wasn't the original purpose. That was
Well, I know the main purpose was like to find a weakness to
Adrakthir.
Adrakthir. But oh no, it wasn't that. I'm confusing that with the ring. Like she told us that the rings.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the wedding bands are.
So she came here. She knew. Again, all of her information was very vague, and that was actually part of what led you to conclude everything about like her radiance, and something about her radiance maybe is causing like her memory to not really be fully together 100%. She knew that you needed to go near like the old Drovir capital, which is like in this area around these mountains, to find a means to defeat Adrakthir, because right now he's functionally immortal. And here in this place, you actually found his Adraksa's original like notes and journal and research when she was trying to kill him the first time. And her whole deduction with that was that, oh, it's his wedding band. I need to destroy that to kill him. Which, weird thing about wedding bands is that they're kind of a symbol of a promise being made. So she hadn't really thought that through, and that maybe her own wedding band would also be like one of these horcruxes of his, essentially. So the way to sever his immortality was just under your noses the entire time. Like it's on Adraksa herself.
Cool.
You don't have to go anywhere like weird to find it. You don't have to.
Are we working with Hydroxa?
Hydroxa.
Hydroxycut.
Hydroxycut? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
For now, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
That
I just
was
wanted to
so
make
part
sure
part
we
of
know where we stand here.
yeah, part of like why Roksana agreed to working with her is that she, in like an act of good faith, like just handed Theris over to Roksana, and Roksana killed her half brother.
Gotcha.
And maybe could prove a useful ally at some point. But yeah. Is there anything else that needs to be done here, or are you guys ready to head back?
I'm gonna head back.
I think we're gonna head back.
Yeah,
This is
I
a very
think so.
fruitful side questy thing.
Oh yeah, immensely.
Okay. You pack up your things, make sure to take any other random notes if you like recalled anything or wanted to do any last minute research, and you kind of just like pack everything up. I'll ask this, is anybody trying to smuggle any of like the tomes out of this place?
No.
I don't think Elijah would. Ah!
Actually, yes. I'm gonna try to.
Oh,
I'm gonna try to.
shit,
I'm gonna
not
try to.
Doggo.
I'm gonna try to smuggle out the one with all the weaknesses,
Oh.
because I think that might be better to have in the tome than by my memory alone.
Okay.
But if it seems like
it's a risky play with the archivist, but so the way it's gonna work is
No.
Roksana is going to need to make a. It's definitely like a
stealth, stealth,
Sleight of hand.
stealth, baby.
Please.
Yeah, I got expertise in stealth.
I should show you my cursor right now. It's just
Wouldn't it be
hovering
sleight
over
of hand
stealth.
though?
It is sleight of hand.
Oh fuck.
Sorry,
Alright.
Charlie.
Can I help? Can I help? Can I help?
Oh, true. We do have.
I'm also.
stuff.
I'm gonna.
You guys have a lot of ways to boost things.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll advantage as well with my.
I'm gonna
inspo.
do a secret roll to see
Can
what.
I give you guidance?
Let's go.
How are you guiding?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna roll advantage. I'm gonna use my inspiration for this. Let's go.
What the
All right,
20?
And I'll take
roll-
the D4 as well. So, 25.
It's really funny because I'm gonna reveal the roll that I had just done.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
god.
The percent you would have actually made it with your
Nice.
with your 24.
Dang.
Let's go.
So
The
I'll
doggo
contest the
misses
check.
it.
I feel like in the hustle and bustle of like going back through this place and the archivist like paying so much, it has this one eye which can see a lot, but it's one eye, right? It pays its attention to each and every one of you individually, and there's just some gap in there where it doesn't see through your sleight of hand, through your concealment of this tome, and you're able to pass through.
Let's go. Huge.
Mungus.
Humongous.
Is that
You
you?
huge
Humongous.
jacked man.
Humongous what? Spooky.
Okay. You go
Go
back through the main courtyard of the Astromantic Society of the Drovir, out the main door, and into like this pretty pristine like flagstone street, which even just like a dozen, 2 dozen paces away begins to fall apart into disarray, coinciding with like this magical, like upscaled prestidigitation, like no longer being maintained as it is around the Astromantic Society. And you just walk through what are ruins again, back out into this oh, not that one. This is what I was looking for. Oh, there's still a drawing on here. back into this mountain oasis, and at this point you would be descending it, right? So you kind of start from way up here and just this winding path, and you wend your way down to the bottom and find the cave opening that you came from. Begin your ascent back through the mountain. Probably treading a little more carefully, knowing that there's giant worms about, sensing your every movement. So if you guys want to make stealth checks to, or actually, I'm feeling inspired by Dune right now. So
We ride the worm back.
yeah, you ride the worm back.
Actually,
you know how they do like
should we tame a worm?
Shai Hulud.
You know how they do like the sand walking or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Where they like make their motions through the sand erratic enough
Yeah.
that the worms don't realize like there's actual living beings there. It's meant to like emulate just like a wind blowing the sand around. You can either make a stealth check, or if you're a little better at this, a performance check to try to make your movements a little less conspicuous.
Oh, I rolled pretty low
like
for
a
me.
Group?
Is this for
Just like a
everyone?
group thing? Yeah.
This is a group check.
To performance or stealth?
Yo, Derek's performing pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wait, where's my thingy? Dude?
Somehow, even with all this gear that he has on him,
All the clanking.
Performance
all the magic.
or
Thomas,
clanking and the
no.
Stealth.
clinking.
performance or stealth? Where's stealth? Hello? Am I blind?
I feel like your stealth would be pretty good.
Should
Nah,
be
my-
one of the last
Nah.
ones.
Oh,
Yo, what
I
the
need
hell?
to see this thing's
Oh, rough.
Hey, we just fought. We can fight a worm. It's fine.
I guess I need to do
I'll
it for a
fight a worm.
couple other people, right?
aha!
Uh,
I'm not talking about fighting this thing. This is our way back.
I am.
Sorry, I'm still on.
This
Is
is
there-
our
oh,
ride.
wait. Side quest? You want to tame a worm? Are we doing it?
This is our,
I think we tamed the worm,
this,
dude.
this is our
Tyler,
ride back.
Maybe if you can get
Roksana intentionally-
Melusine on your side. she
That'd be-
could help you tame
Roksana
the worm.
intentionally fails the stealth check.
Alright.
Honestly, in the meantime, is there a roll I could make to try to think about like these kind of worms, like if I know anything about them, like having grown up here?
They like peanut butter.
Sure, you can make a nature or history or arcana check. No, never mind. No arcana check. Nature. Or history.
No Arcana, fuck you.
All right,
They're more like natural than anything. They're just like naturally huge.
I'll do a history check. I'm essentially gonna try to think
Huge.
of like ways we could avoid them or
Huge.
like bait them somewhere where we're not. See if it comes up with anything. Natural 20.
What?
Let's go.
What do you remember as a child?
I mean, yeah, I could
A
like
natural
Misty
20.
step around.
On your. By the way, like even though Oscar
by
got
the
a
way-
6, every other person beat its passive perception.
Oh,
Herborns
nice.
have shitty perception. Their passive perception is 9.
He'll be the
Oh,
bait.
sick.
Nice.
Dang.
So they're known in Jalaran language as purple worms, just like a literal descriptor of them, right? They're just these giant purple worms that have incredibly hard armor, kind of like on the outside of their body, which through various like twisting motions and just going, it helps them dig through stone, and their mouths kind of grind in a circular motion, and they actually have like these just like their mouths are of such a strange biology that's similar to how like an actual like grinding like drill would be. like boring holes into the earth. It kind of works like that, where it's just like several sets of organs just like rotating around each other and just like grinding up the stone. They have mainly been hunted into like endangerment at this point. There aren't a lot because they have historically posed like a very large threat to the Drovir, especially living up in these mountains where they tend to be. They're known to, I guess, rest for long periods of time as well, and spend years upon years just laying dormantly before they eventually need to eat again, and they'll set out to find food, which they treat these mountains as like their home. A lot of that is because of, or at least it's been posited, that purple worms, because they kind of like hibernate for so long, they're left very vulnerable, and there aren't a lot of living things in the mountains. So a lot of the times when they are hungry, they'll go down the mountains into like more inhabited areas. So like the kind of like the edge of the Drovir territory, like the forests where you had fought Saris and that sort of thing. But there appears to be an awake purple worm, at least in this area right now. And I don't know their name, but just because it's like a cool nat 20, sure. At least there was one person in history who was able to like tame and ride a purple worm.
Shai
we're doing it.
Hulu.
Lisan
Lisan Al-Gaib.
We're using it against Adraksa.
Lisan Al-Gaib.
Let's collect information on how to tame a worm. I'm completely down for this.
Roksana has called a grandfather worm. I'm here for it.
I really like how they in Dune they get the worms to like stay above ground as well while they're riding them. They
With the
like
hooks.
pull up on their on like their plating with their hooks, because they bring the plates. If the plates are up, they're like breathing, and if they put the plates down when they go underground, so that like sand doesn't get into like their respiratory system. It's like a really cool thing. So I feel like there would be some similar way to go about it with these guys.
Let's go.
Who knows how long the Worm Rider actually lived for, but it has been done at least once.
Let's go. Canon now.
All right. Wait, we have to go back to the Nothic and get some lore about the purple worm.
Yeah,
We just keep going
yeah.
back.
The Nothic was the Worm Rider.
Yeah. The dog.
Yo.
It just drove
Dog
him
rode the
insane.
worm.
All right. Well, with all those checks, yeah, you're able to just pretty easily make your way back. You get back into like more populated Drovir territory. Again, think about it as like the old capital is largely abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
The assassin that you're currently with, who has served as your guide thus far, says that like brigands and such are known to like be in the old capital, because originally you guys were just gonna go down and around the mountain as opposed to like in this like hidden oasis. Not within the mountain, but like down towards its base are where like these brigands go off to, because they're not gonna really be bothered by the powers that be within the Drovir. So there's a whole potential there that if you had gone down there, you would need to fight a bunch of brigands and try to find your way into like this hidden area, but you guys were able to actually uncover that area way earlier by coaxing the purple worm to like think that it got somebody, and then it just retreated into the mountain. That was really cool.
Are you do we know this, or are you just telling this out of story, out of
I think I might have like
character?
mentioned it, like maybe I didn't mention that much about it, but the assassin was leading you down the mountain to like the old capital.
Mm-hmm.
He never mentioned anything about like it being hidden or or anything.
Oh,
like
I
that.
mean, would we know about the bandits? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I think the assassin would have told you like to be on the lookout for bandits, but they're not in the direction that you're going, which is back to Drovir.
Oh, I know. Roksana, if you were to be the ruler of this land, would you try to root out the evil and the banditry?
You consider
Roaming the
bandits evil?
If they're encroaching on your territory, I would assume that the ruler of that territory would at least try to make peace with them or dispose of them if they needed to.
If they were infringing on the prosperity of my land, there would be no other choice than to root them out and destroy them.
Do we know if those bandits, if they're just pestering like travelers, or if they're like, is there an encampment there? Or are they just moving through? Did the assassin say anything?
So the old capital is abandoned, so it's a bunch of like derelict buildings and everything. They seem to just stay there, just outside of the like control of the Drovir, which actually isn't very hard to do, I guess, because like there's no really organized policing within the Drovir. Like everything's volunteer based because of like all those accords, and that the Drovir can't hold like a standing military, and that would kind of be counted as a standing military under such accords. But they kind of just camp out in the abandoned buildings from the sound of it.
I'll say, because wait, we still have Ceres's men too that we have to try to convert to our side.
There are still Ceres's men. Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll be like, Derek, soon enough we'll have a whole company of men that will be hungering for battle. What better task to give them than to shed blood in this ancient city for us?
It might soon be a larger battle if we are to take on Adraksa, and maybe fodder could weaken him. There are more ways than one to use the bandits.
Oh, to use them? Are you talking about like trying to convert them to our side? That's kind of sick.
And just fucking toss him in against Adraksa, and then we just call in fucking Ceres's men. Do we still have the Lake Hall engineers, or like?
Yeah, they're south.
Yeah, and we have, we're just fucking war of attrition. This guy.
That's not a bad idea. I thought you meant fight them.
Oh no! We could exterminate them, or we could have them exterminate themselves. Who knows?
Dude, trying to get them to our side is kind of a sick idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we tame the worm. We fucking get some bandits on our side. We try to pay them, right? Maybe with land. Maybe we convince them by like saying, "Hey, you help us get rid of install this lady as the ruler of Thala Shashana, and then they have a permanent neutral area for them, but they just all die against Adraksa. Who knows?
Derek, I think you have an eye for governance. I'll turn to the assassin, and I'll say, these I don't know why that got me. These bandits. What is their number? How many are they within the ruin? Do you think they can be persuaded with gold?
Or land.
Or land or title? And he stares at me.
Say it. Say it.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello? Uh-oh.
1 second.
The bandit's dead. So are we gonna actually recruit the room, Tyler? Because I'd like to recruit the worm.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't know if we could do that.
We were here.
Oh, so we're gonna ask the assassin how many bandits there were in the ruins.
And if they could be persuaded by
gold, land,
money
or titles.
Yeah, title as in like station and government
Yeah.
title. Here's a title to my car, my coach, my wagon. Is that?
I don't know, maybe a couple dozen.
That's pretty good.
That's
They
pretty
tend
decent.
to not bother us up in the mountain. They venture more into your family's land.
Oh, there it is.
Roksana.
There it is.
Oh.
Because like they're kind of near the bases of the mountains instead, so like it's a lot easier for them to just go off into like the woods, hit like a supply caravan, and then like make their way back through the woods.
A
and
diplomatic
conceal.
endeavor then, Roksana. And Derek
Have
like
you,
winks.
Have you fought their ilk before? In securing these borders for the Drovir?
It isn't really my purview. I belong to our faction of assassins instead. Sent on more specialized missions to anywhere else within Thalas Ashana, really.
Hmm.
That may be a question to ask, perhaps, any of the roving rangers or self-proclaimed volunteer guards who wander the ranges.
And do we know if is that like a Drakthir's like home essentially? Like, does he go back there, or does he just like wander around? Like, where's his like his lair, quote unquote? Or do we know that?
His lair is unknown, but he was able to just like randomly attack in the middle of the night in Drovisk. So presumably he would be like up in the mountains and not down near the base where like the brigands are.
Okay, and these bandits are north of the Hanged Keep, right?
They're trying to think.
Northeast, I would assume.
Yeah, they're like northeast. of the
Wow,
Hanged
I got
Keep.
that geography on lock.
Yeah, I mean,
I think she's already imagining like drawing battle lines in her head. And she's like, if we are to sack the keep, Derek, they could come at them from their northern flank. I don't think they'd see it coming. Even a small assault on the walls could distract them. Well, in the meantime, let's meet with Adraksa. And if we should need to use them, we can always return.
Okay.
returning to Drovisk. You wend your way through the streets and up towards Adraksa's abode, more of this longhouse than anything. At the very apex of this more like flat hill than like the more common jagged peaks in this area. You arrive at the gates. The volunteer guards permit you in. The Asari is out for the time being.
Where is she?
She
tends to wander, goes about her own business. Such an outing is likely how she encountered you.
Is she with God at
Originally.
least?
She is out in a more liberated sense. I don't think any of her guard can come with her into the sky.
Very well. I'm sure you know as well as I she could be the target of assassination, which is why I ask. That being said, the sky is surely safe.
In the meantime, would you like a servant to come and bring you refreshments?
Yes, that'll be great. If they could escort us as well to the guest hall, would be much appreciated. Has there been any word from my handmaiden? She is bearing our flag and using our titles. Has she returned to the city by any chance?
We have not seen somebody matching that description, but we have needed to find a place to move you in short time. The guest house did suffer that fire, after all,
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
last evening.
Yes, we apologize for such wanton destruction, but we were set upon in this city where we thought we were safe. Anyways, any accommodations you may afford us would be much appreciated.
I believe our esteemed Asari has permitted you to stay within the longhouse, if that would fit your liking better.
Yes, it would.
Yo, Walkie?
Very well. I will show all of you to your accommodations and
No, but I'll take it for now.
return downstairs when you would like any food or beverage.
No thanks, I got some right here.
So, you are directed to kind of like a haphazardly like put together sleeping arrangement. The whole like Drovir area isn't super lavish or anything, and the longhouse itself doesn't have like a lot of small like separated rooms, so they kind of just like arranged what beds they could find in like an upstairs hall, essentially. They made do with the time that they were given, and so yeah, you guys could just rest around for a bit and have some food, some drink, and after probably like 90 minutes or so, you hear the whooshing of wind overhead, and just like the massive thud of a large creature hitting the earth. So it's more like a bit of like a stone scramble behind the longhouse, and Adraksa comes back and like lands perched on it before reverting to her Jalaran form. And she enters. And at this point, I feel like you guys would have been lounging around the main like mead hall type area.
It appears that my guests have brought back
Good news?
News for sure. I don't know if all of it is good. We've made quite a bit of progress, and we've discovered the weakness to your former husband's current state, as well as and she's sort of choosing her words a bit carefully, because I don't know if this celestial radiance business will come as like a huge shock to her, given how clearly it's had some sort of effect on her memory. And so Roksana will say, as well as matters I think we should discuss privately, you and I.
Very well.
So, are you intending to like privately talk to her about her radiance and all of that? So privately, just you and her?
Yeah, because I don't like, in terms of the social etiquette, like having that sort of thing happen.
Yeah, like it's more like sensitive.
Yeah.
Information. I mean, you guys do have a lot of ideas about what might be up with her. I'll say, like, before you go off into your private conversation, is there anybody who wants to, like, try to glean anything from her? Because the current working theory is that she has some sort of memory loss, possibly associated with her radiance being separated from her. Alright, if that's the case, she would walk with you to probably back upstairs and to the room that she sleeps in. And there's a little side table in the room with a couple of chairs, and she sits down at one of them, relaxed, as she tends to do.
What is so pressing that we need to meet in private? Was there a complication?
Yes, you could call it that. But foremost, it is a matter of vulnerability. For a noble lady like yourself, I would only wish to follow the correct protocol for divulging such a secret, if it were even a secret at all. That much I intend to clear up right now. What is your knowledge of your position in all this? Oh man, I'm trying to think how far I want to go with this.
Just full send.
The covenant that was struck ages ago. Your connection to the celestial heavens.
Make an insight check.
Oh god. It's either memory loss or she's a fucking rat. Let's see here. Insight? Oh, that's not good for me. 13.
You do like notice her face like tenses up for a moment.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And like her brow furrows for a second, like.
Did she recognize what you said?
Like it's kind of like she wanted, like her expression changed, like she was about to say something to you.
And then it just went blank.
Yeah, and then it relaxes again. Like
Interesting.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like remembered
I,
and then forgot.
I do not know what you mean. Speak plainly.
How do I put this? I fear the ignorance of one who has lost their memory, or the venom of a snake in my garden.
Ooh.
This celestial radiance you possess, are you aware of its current predicament? And your place within all these schemes? That of Raz-Duhor, the City of Night, and our immortal Emperor.
Schemes.
Have her make I'm gonna do a little private roll real quick to see something.
Deception?
She maintains her like composure for now.
I had to agree to the terms. I was to inherit my husband's position. I did not want these people to.
Not the music, dude.
Dude, this is perfect.
Suffer his mistakes. I believe I was simply handed an impossible choice, and one I have struggled with some time. I was the one who stopped my husband from his continued conquer.
So you remember that
And how was I
much.
rewarded? With terms and treaties.
Do you remember precisely how you stopped your husband?
Why, of course,
And her. It's like she has it on the tip of her tongue, but she
It's
can't.
a contract. It's like a
I-
magical contract. Oh Jesus.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's like she
Wait,
can't
whoa,
say
whoa,
Can't
wait,
say
hold
it.
on. Is it a contract? Because if
It could be the
it's
radiance.
the same type of contract, what if we take her to a area of anti-magic?
Oh, that's genius. That's smart. Yeah, it's possible. If it isn't the radiance, then that's definitely possible. I'll say,
Yeah, she did say contract, so
had you ever considered that this very contract you signed obliterated your memory of exactly how you destroyed your husband the first time? What was there so secret that they wished to keep from you?
You can make another insight check, or you can make an arcana check if you want in this case.
I'll make an insight. Oh. Oh boy.
You can see that she's just like getting more and more frustrated with what's going on. Like that, like she knows that she should know about all of this, and like actively pressing this issue right now seems to just be like upsetting her. You can't like really. It's hard to tell with like just her anger right now. It's hard to like figure out what specific things she might be thinking about, but what you're getting right now is just like frustration
You can see why I wish to have this conversation alone. This matter is one that could be very provocative for you, surely. But
Why are you bringing it up to me?
I had to be
Do you
sure.
mean to insult me?
No, quite the contrary. This is why I sought specifically a private place to entreat you. I was trying to merely ascertain your motives. And your motives seem pure. This frustration you're experiencing, it's clear your memories have been tampered with. Perhaps as part of this contract, perhaps due to your very severance from your radiance, which lies in the city. But I wouldn't fault yourself necessarily for your current predicament and your loss of memory. You could have made such a decision under duress.
I want it to be fixed. I need my memory to be fixed. I need to know why I cannot remember. Why there is so much I cannot remember.
So, I'll tell you this, Tyler. If you're not confident in Roksana's, like, Arcana skill, there are other party members who might be able to, like, use Arcana to figure out exactly what's magically affecting her.
Derek has a good Arcana.
Yeah, I think she will, like, well, I guess before I do this, I'll ask her directly. I'll be like, we have a cleric among our number. I wish as much as you to return what was taken from you, clearly. Would you permit him to speak with you and ascertain exactly what is going on?
If you think you can help, then I would be a fool to turn that down. Bring him to me. I wish to remain up here.
That's a little sus, but okay.
She looks frustrated, and
Oh, okay.
I guess you can make another insight check to see, like, anything behind that specific.
Alright, I'll make a check. My insight's not great, but yeah, not great.
She looks embarrassed.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad I judged that right then. I did not want to do that in public.
She has a very hard appearance to, like, all of those who, like, follow her, and she's just like this person of such, like, strength and power and ferocity that I think it's just embarrassment in this moment that is why she does not want to leave the room and would rather have you bring Derek to her.
Alright, cool. I'll go back down then. I'll say, Derek, I believe our theory was correct about her memory loss, and she's in quite a volatile mood. I would like you
to proceed.
Yes. I would very much like it if you were to treat with her alone. Act as though it is some sort of remedy that you are giving her, though I think the damage may be irreparable at this point. And maybe there is something to ascertain about her condition, but it's clear to me that those memories of besting her husband the first time was stolen from her somehow.
Providing input onto what might be ailing her, I can do. I don't give false remedies, though.
I agree. I think providing her a bit of comfort in this moment might be the most valuable medicine to her.
And if the diagnosis is a contract, something that she can't necessarily cure, is truth the best way forward?
Roxana's eyes will like flick over to this notebook that she has now shown all the party members of how to break contracts.
Yeah. Derek nods. And Derek flicks his eyes to Thomas, like, get him away from any, like, doors or windows or fucking, like, that are next to the...
Cover his
next
ears.
to the door chamber, yeah. Adults only. Okay. Derek nods and heads upstairs.
Okay. Roksana leads you to the door, you open it, and at this point, Adraksa sits in the chair, although it's like turned away from the door, and she's just kind of like staring out the window, just almost like stiff as a board. Just think about like how much your nerves would shoot up with like the realization that you're forgetting things that you shouldn't, and like there's so much that you should know that you just don't. So she's there. She's not facing you at the moment.
I think Derek closes the door first, and probably just stays at the door as he says, if you'd allow me, I'd proceed and take a look. I need not see your face. I can do an exam as you are.
No. I need to look this in the eye.
She stands up and just it's it's almost like she's giving you a glare, Derek, like you just see death in her eyes and like bloody murder, but it doesn't even require an insight check into this moment that you're not like the object of her ire.
And I think Derek, having dealt with nobility in the Cerulean Garden, or not in which is Cerulean Garden the magical plane, or is that the normal?
that's the mundane plane,
I
so,
think
like, where you're from.
his like not out of nowhere, but immediately he does his like most formal like bow as a greeting, like as he would if he were meeting nobility in the Cerulean Garden, and he motions for her to sit wherever she's most comfortable.
She turns the chair back around and just sits in it, and she releases a deep exhale, almost as if trying to psych herself into relaxing, but you can still tell that she's like pretty tense about all of this.
Yeah. 1 second. Seeing if I have any spells that could also help with this. Nope, not that. I don't think Derek has anything.
Well, if he doesn't have a specific spell, he can always just make an Arcana check.
Yeah. I just was seeing if there's anything that he could actually use to help in his like.
Oh, like aid. You do have inspiration.
Oh yeah, I do have inspiration. Let me read this. Yeah, I'll just do an Arcana check with inspiration. Inspiration is reroll, or is that advantage?
You can do it either. So like, if you want to, you might as well just do it as a reroll.
Okay.
Or if you like really want a high check here, you could do it as advantage, and then if it doesn't work, someone else could give you inspiration to reroll it with advantage.
My brain hurts. I'm
They
gonna
stack
do
in
just.
that way. So like,
I'm
the
gonna.
first inspiration gives you advantage, and the reroll is re-rolling it just as you would before. So if you're rolling with advantage
I
and you
see.
somehow
Okay,
still
yeah.
get low,
29 advantage.
Nice.
she's not under the effects of a magical contract.
No. Okay.
You have an interesting background of both like medicine and like developing your arcane sense over time. But so it's kind of cool because you can feel magic and like the waves it emits, and you can tell that there is something placed upon her memory, upon her brain. And maybe at one point you're really focusing on it, so much so that Roksana, looking at it from like an outside perspective, Derek's like almost like too close to somebody of this much status, as he's just holding his hands like an inch away from her head. Adraksa, as you open your eyes and you collect what's going on here, Adraksa's under the effects of a modify memory spell.
Interesting.
The neutral news is that she's under the effects of like there is something impacting her memory, which is what you had supposed all this time. And there isn't any bad news. The good news is that you, as a cleric, have a spell that you can prepare that is of a level that you can cast, called Greater Restoration.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're rewiring their brain, and then after that minute, like, the magic's no longer there, but the damage is done. So this is more of, at this point, it's more of like an actual
I see, yeah.
natural problem with her brain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a Greater Restoration spell can repair the damage and like rewire it and undo the damage that has been done via the modify memory spell.
Interesting. Okay. I'll look to both Roksana and like nod after Derek's done his like assessment. And says Lady Adraksa, good news. Bad news first. You are under a spell that modifies your memory. Good news. Give me a day. I can get the proper materials in place, and we can cure it.
Anything you need.
Mhm.
I must have my mind back.
The wealth that this incantation demands is diamond dust, specifically 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust. If you could have someone grind it for me and deliver it to our quarters, I can begin preparing right away.
It is done, and
She, like, in a very fast motion, she grabs the back of your head and just almost like headbutts you, but like presses your forehead into hers.
I will not forget this deed you are doing for me.
And
the one thing I ask is
releases her.
remember, the one thing I ask is just remember the Wolfward name. And then Derek bows and just says, Derek Wolfward, at your service. And kind of fucking shuttles out of the door. He doesn't want to be here anymore. He wants to fucking leave.
Hell yeah. Great scene.
Also, point of order. Raise Dead also cures all
What are you getting at?
yeah, it neutralizes any poison and cures non-magical diseases. If she wants the cure now, I could kill her and then cast Raise Dead.
I'll say Raise Dead. I think it would probably restore somebody back to the point like right before death.
All right.
Otherwise it'd be like, oh, like all of your long-term memories that you've forgotten, like those would all come back as well, like any normal person. Yeah, so you're just trying to get me to allow you to kill her. Wait a minute.
I was trying to force a very interesting conversation.
It's for science.
Yeah, I can cure you, but you need to die first.
I was killed, but I lived. Okay. Well, you go back to your quarters. Again, this long hall. Maybe you like rendezvous with the rest of the party first. Would Roksana and Derek like update the party on what's going on, like once they're in privacy, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, you all get back to your room. I think this would be the first time. Actually, not true. I believe the first time the whole party was together for a night was during the first session of the campaign, where they were all given spaces to sleep in whatever her name is, something Thier, not Ernette Thier, but her daughter's like little estate.
Oh.
That night of like the thunderstorm, do you remember that? And then there's the whole murder mystery that went on. Everyone was like sleeping on couches and shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of a return to form in that way, I guess. Everyone's been sleeping in like their own rooms, or maybe like 2 per room, or sleeping in their own tents for so long. You guys can have a little slumber party now. A servant does come in and bring what you requested. At first they had to find like somebody who's familiar enough with like jeweler's tools to like grind it down, but you do have the diamond dust that you need, Derek, for the spell you're going to cast.
I think, Roksana, you see that this scene of Derek saying, I need to go and prepare, and like shuttles out. You see him in his fucking cot just sleeping. Like, he doesn't actually need to prepare anything. He fucking knows how to do it. He just needs to wait like 8 hours.
Just get in the R&R while he can.
Yeah, you just see him.
You're counting the individual flecks
grains
of
of
diamond
dust.
yeah, to make sure
You
it's
see him-
exactly 100 gold pieces worth.
You see him put on like an eye mask, and he just puts his feet up and just like sleeping. And you're like, what the fuck?
Very well. Does anybody have anything they want to do with like nightly rituals or whatever? I don't know if
Thomas is
anybody has.
tired, man. He's going to bed.
Okay. You are currently in Adraksa's longhouse, and you find sleep a little slower than normal, partly because it's kind of weird being in a room with very little privacy with so many of you guys in there, and partly because the previous night that you spent here in Drovisk was interrupted by the undead masses crashing through the windows.
Yep.
I'm not sleeping next to him.
Does find you because you're exhausted from all the traveling and the fighting throughout the day, and the very cold weather outside just tends to leave you very sleepy, so it's nice to
to jump under those covers, like the furs that are left there for you. And you get a long rest.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
This night is not interrupted by any
Baddies.
baddies. Baddies.
Any
Oh.
baddies?
Baddies like sexy Drovir.
Nunny.
Okay.
However,
God damn it.
there is no encounter in the night, but Derek, as you sleep, it feels like you're not sleeping. Have you ever had like one of those nights
I fucking hate that.
where it's just like your body must be so uncomfortable that it never actually feels like you're sleeping?
I hate
Or
those
never
nights.
felt like you fell asleep.
Yeah, I
Like,
hate it.
I hate those nights.
They're the worst. It's kind of like that because there's like a small fire going in this room, and you can just hear the crackling of the fire, and you swear like as you're sleeping, you swear you're not asleep because you're still focusing on the crackling of the fire. And you go to open your eyes because like maybe you just need to like pace around, have like some water to drink or something. And you open your eyes and you're not in the room, and
Uh-oh.
you're
I got
in
kidnapped.
you're in a dark space, and all you can see is the fire in the fireplace. But it is not your average fire. Within it is crackling a blue flame.
Yep.
Just gently so. Not violently as with that vision you had with Roksana burning within the blue flame. But you feel drawn to it, like it's trying to tell you something.
The music is crazy.
It's hitting right now.
I know.
The music is crazy right now.
Do you approach it?
Yep.
You walk towards it, and it's almost like a perspective shift, that as you get closer to it, you realize that you're not in a room with this fire. It's in the distance, so far away, in fact, that it looks like a small fire in the fireplace, and what look to be logs within the fireplace that are just silhouettes, shadows. They start to take a more solid, a clearer, more defined form. I would say in this dream, make a perception check.
Yeah. 20.
20.
Derek goes crazy.
You see the unmistakable silhouette perched upon a steep and looming hill of the Hanged Keep. And you wake up drenched in sweat, despite it being so cold in here, in the wee hours of the morning. Having gotten your rest, but your heart's beating like there's for some reason you were like stressed a little bit. You were in distress a little bit during this dream, but you calm down and remember what's going on and know that sometime very soon you have a duty to perform in casting a spell on Adraksa, Asari of the Drovir, to hopefully gain some new insights about what's going on. What does Derek do? Does he try to go back to sleep to get any little bit more he can? Is there too much on his mind? Does he wake someone up? Does he go for a walk around?
I think so. Do I have spells prepared after the long rest, or do I like how what in what order do spells get prepared?
I think it's technically like part of the long rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like at the end of the long rest, you have them prepared.
I think. Yeah, I think Derek will just go back to bed. I think he'll look outside the window quickly to see like if there's anything wrong, and he'll use Eyes of the Grave, just like flick them on temporarily to see if anything pings. But
He kind of in sentinel
upon
mode for a second.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
upon not seeing anything, I think he goes back to bed.
All right. You don't see anything with Eyes of the Grave. You go back to your sleep. Kind of like if you have a night that you're feverish,
Mm-hmm.
and you like wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, I'm so fucking tired, and then you like fall back asleep, and it's the best sleep you've ever had because like
Mm-hmm.
your body's not fighting you as much anymore. You're actually woken up again. This time like clear. It's clear to you at this point that you're one of the only people left in the room. Everybody else has woken up at this point, and it's not one of your party members who awakens you. It's a servant.
Are you prepared? The Isari has requested your presence.
Derek probably just like opens his eyes, stares at the server like, "Yep," and just like nods.
Throws off the PJs, puts on some.
Yeah, his drenched PJs.
He
Puts
pissed himself too.
puts on his nice cloak and whatever.
Is
I don't
Derek a
think he dons his
onesie
armor.
guy?
I would say so. He
Yeah,
made
he
some money.
definitely strikes me as
Let's
with,
go.
with the nightcap. With the nightcap
Yeah,
as
no,
Yes,
well.
yes, with
he's like
with the
he's
blue
like a little
nightcap and
he's a little posh, right? But not too posh. He was like upper.
Yeah.
His family was like lower middle class, but like he knew some nobility. He may have got some silk embroidered threads at some point from like as a gift, and he maybe carries them around. He can enjoy
Oh
the
yeah,
finer things in life.
you got the Versace silk uh
Yeah.
PJs. Nice. All right. Well, you get dressed and you are brought to Adraksa's room, and Roksana, you were requested as well, just like the same two of you who had been there yesterday.
Is there anything I need to do to prepare?
No. Just get
Very
comfortable.
well.
I actually, as Adrox is doing that, I go to Roxana, and just say, I had what felt like a weird premonition. Could you tell the others to just watch the windows?
Very well. Shall let them know.
Yeah, just like be on like a little elevated alert. Don't know if anything's gonna happen, but better safe than sorry.
Okay. She
Can
sits down and
can
she kind of like adjusts herself and her position a lot. Like
mhm.
she's a little antsy.
um can hold on, sorry, I'm reading spells. Okay. Um, give me 1 second. I'm just seeing if I can cast anything else that could give Derek a little bit more security.
I worried something bad's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, Derek.
After.
Yeah, after that dream, I think Derek's like a little on edge, but I think I don't. I won't do anything else. Okay. After Hydroxa gets comfy, I think you see Derek start to like he takes the clasp off his cloak, which is like his arcane focus, and just holds it between his hands that start to glow. And then as they remain glowing, he puts the pin back on, which stays glowing, and he sort of compresses the diamond dust in his hands, and you see his hands like glow even brighter to the point where like you need to sort of squint as you're um, if you're looking directly at him, and he starts like doing like this motion across the bed or wherever she's sitting or on the bed, and you see like an aura start to emanate from the middle point, like as it spreads outwards and starts encompassing her body.
Okay, and the range of the spell is touch.
Yeah, I'm like next to her,
Yeah.
and like yeah.
How do you make contact with her to like finalize this spell, like this incantation?
Um, I think is she laying down? Is she sitting? What position did she take?
She's sitting down similarly to how she was the
Okay,
previous night.
I think.
She has like one leg crossed over the other, and her
Mhm.
two hands one over the other.
Yeah, I think you see Derek go like this, and then eventually, as the aura surrounds her, he puts both hands on the side of her head and like puts his head to hers, like mimicking the gesture from last night, and that's the touch component of Greater Restoration.
Yep, with it kind of like a foil to last night. I'd assume that Derek's is a lot gentler.
Mm-hmm.
And he presses his forehead to hers, and you feel instantly this surge of energy. You've healed a lot of beings in your time so far, but none quite as powerful as an ancient dragon as Adraksa. And it's not really within the purview of the Greater Restoration spell, but I think it fits better in this moment that you have this connection head to head that I can kind of explain it to you through her memories as she's getting them back. You see flashing through yours and Adroxa's minds. A small ceremony where two rings are exchanged. And you're seeing this from Adroxa's perspective. So, across from you is a very like lavish looking and handsome looking man. Odrakthir with he has long wavy black locks, and he's smiling with a fanged smile. He is a vampire after all, even in this memory. A moment of happiness flashing to an argument between the two. Adraksa, again, from your perspective, you're yelling at him to simply tell you what's going on. You know that he's hiding something, and that you're worried that the Drovir have gone too far, and trying to conquer so much land is going to attract more eyes than the Drovir want at this time. Another memory inside a library one that you've seen before, and you're writing inside a journal. And there aren't as many books on the floor right now, but as there were when you were in the archives, in the Astromantic Society, in that library. But you can actually see, like, looking up, a couple of people, like, lugging just this stack into the room and dump it out onto the floor, and it's a lot of books. But you look back and have your notes there, and you write out ring. And it goes to another memory of you next to a blacksmith who has started up their forge and has just this like cup of that's meant to house metal, and you put the ring in there, and he puts it over the fire, and it begins to melt. Another memory of Odrakthir on the other end of your blade. You're not even in dragon form at this time. And similarly to the exchanging of rings, you are actually exchanging blows. You're stabbing him and he's stabbing you, but it's obvious that he's more severely wounded, and he kind of just falls off of your sword and collapses to the ground and sputters blood. And getting a look at his face, unlike the handsome man that we saw in this first memory, there's bits and pieces of his face that are actually like rotting away and pulling away. His skin's pulled more tightly, succumbing more to his vampiric hunger at this point. And you stand over him and sever his head. No sign of regeneration occurring, but as you know, from your perspective, Adraksa was not thorough enough, and that he did regenerate, and that he did come back. The final, like, important memory that you're getting, all of these are like flashing by, and like you're getting them to some extent in your head. This last memory is you sitting across a table in your longhouse with like 4 men across the table from you. You have done your part. One of them speaks up. But I am afraid that you will be non-compliant with us should we return your soul to you. There's, in like the background of this room, there's just like a, it's hard to see. He's kind of like shrouded in like a hood. It almost like a ceremonial looking, like maybe even somewhat religious garb. It's hard to tell. Almost like what you'd picture like cult members wearing. And he's just like pacing back and forth in the background. You don't really think much of him at first. I think we will keep it for the time being as collateral for complying with us. You will agree to our terms. And you will not put up any fuss about it. You stand up, like, very abruptly and, like, lunge across the table, like, towards this man's throat. And just as that's happening, the one in, like, the robes steps forward, snaps his finger at you, and everything goes black. And that was, like, the last of the missing memories.
I remember.
Derek takes a step back and says, "Welcome back, Lady Adraksa."
You can see an anger building up inside of her. You can actually feel as she's taking these heavy breaths, you seem to start, like, feeling an energy, I guess, emitting from her.
I must return to form.
She stands up and kind of mounted up on a wall, like, above, like, her bed in the room, is a long, slender sword, and she takes it and just holds its scabbard with the sword in it in her hand.
It was all for nothing. Killing my husband, the man I loved. But I see that he must be dealt with. And once we are through with him, I turn my eyes to Rastohor. I will muster an army. It makes sense to me now. My light.
Which you can just get through context. Her light, she's referring to her radiance.
It makes sense. Why I couldn't figure it out earlier. I have lost my connection to it. It is no longer mine, but something else entirely. But I have not forgotten what Rastohor and Zalad have taken from me. When the time is right, we will march on its gate, and I will breathe moonfire upon its streets. You have my sword and my claws.
It is only fitting for a dragon who has regained her wings. I'll unsheath my rapier.
But it must wait.
You can see that she's restraining herself so heavily.
Will you do me the final favor of dealing the killing blow to Adraksa?
If that is what you wish, I shall do it.
She takes her hand and wraps it around her finger and twists and pulls off a wedding band and hands it to you.
I take it into my own.
Roksana of the Drovir. Let this be an alliance unlike no other.
Like no other. Fuck. Grammar.
And Derek Wolfward, your name shall echo down from the mountains to all lands, reaching all ears.
Let's go.
The healer, the savior. We are behind you.
Sorry, am I cutting out right now?
No.
Your audio is fine.
Your video cut out for like a second, but otherwise
audio
good.
is
Yeah, I saw everyone else's video cutting out. I'm like, that's definitely my side of things that's mucking up.
I will begin making arrangements. See it through, please. Be strong enough to finish what I could not.
And she gets up and walks out of the room before you, with a brisk pace. And you can hear her going down the stairs and out the door into like this wider courtyard. You can hear the sounds of her transformation, and if you're following behind her, she assumes her more like lithe serpentine dragon form, brilliant blues and purples, almost like an aurora borealis. Again, it's been a while since we've seen what Adraksa looks like. Or,
Oh, cool.
as she is titled, Lunar Adraksa, taking on her full regal form and gathering her people, I don't want to say countrymen, it's not really a country, is it? But those who have followed her despite her being unable to command them to do so. They gather around her and rally behind their Asari. They said that, or it has been said so far, that Adraksa is an Asari in name alone, and the actual prestige and power of that position is gone. But Roksana, I think in this moment, you see an Asari gathering and rallying so many people behind her. Very different from how you remember your father.
his methods were always more brutal
Yeah.
and inspiring action through fear instead of through honor or dignity. But here in this place, watching various messengers go and run off to spread word to the other Drovir clans, those not in Drovisk, scattered around to organize and form an army. You still have this task of destroying the ring, the wedding band, the promise between Adraksa and Odrakthir, and hunting Odrakthir down, killing him for good, and unlocking yet another impassable barrier to Rostohor. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Nice.
Nice.
Good session. Good session.
Yeah, that was meaty.
Yeah, lots of stuff.